Today is a very exciting day. Today is the reveal day for my Snowflake Quilt Challenge. I saw this Snowflake quilt pattern in a quilt shop. I saw there had a sample of it made up, and I thought it was the neatest quilt, so I just had to make it. So I challenged all of you, as well as some of my friends. I asked Chris O'Neill from Sew the Distance and Fallon Caldwell from Be It Quilts to join me in this challenge. So you'll have to be sure to check out their channels to see their quilts. I'm anxious to see what everybody's quilts look like. So if you made one, don't forget to post it on my Facebook group called the Simple Quilters Community Showcase. 3 of my friends joined me in this. One of them was not able to complete it. She's having some vision difficulties, so she wasn't able to complete the quilt top, but that's okay. I saw part of what she had made and it was turning out beautiful. She does hope to be able to do that before too long, to finish that before too long. Now, one of my friends got the quilt top done, the other friend got the quilt done, so I'll be showing you theirs as well as my finished quilt. Alright, just for a review, this was the Snowflake pattern put out by Modern Handcraft Quilts. You can find their this pattern on their website. They're not paying me to tell you about this pattern. This is really just a pattern I found that I really liked, and I have to say I really enjoyed making this quilt, and I think this is a great pattern. This pattern offered 3 different layouts for this. Mine is a little bit different than any of the layouts on here. The snowflake's the same, but my fabric layout is just a little bit different. Oh yes, now some of my viewers had already made this quilt when I first announced this, so be sure to go again to my Simple Quilters Community Showcase group page and Facebook, so you can see those that were posted at the beginning of this challenge. There are some beautiful quilts there. Now, for those of you who did make the quilt, be sure to tell me in the comments below how you liked making this quilt. Did you enjoy the pattern as much as I did? And please be sure you all go and post your quilts there for everyone to share in and see. But I want to talk about some of the things that really helped me make this quilt. I can't show you how to make the quilt, but I can show you some things that helped me to make this, just in case you want to make the quilt and haven't made it yet. The one thing that really helped me was the link for the color page for this quilt. It really helped me to lay out my design and color in all the squares so that I could see how to place my fabrics. I was able to then count how many blocks I needed, how many, different blocks I needed. So that was a huge help. I'm not sure how I would have done it had I not had that. That was key in my making this quilt. Let me show you the other tools that really helped me to make this quilt. Another tool that helped me were these miniature design boards that I made. I have a video out on how to make these. There are several videos out there on how to make these. You can purchase them from the Fat Quarter shop, or you can just make them yourself by looking at one of the videos. These were crucial because I put together probably over half of my quilt at a quilt retreat, and I didn't have a big design wall to use, so I used these, and these really helped. I took several with me. The nice thing about these is you can stack them. They have batting here so it holds them in place so that if you drop them, all your pieces just don't go flying. But this was crucial for that. So if you don't have a big design wall, be sure you use something like this. This is another tool I wanted to show you. I haven't used this very much, but I certainly used it on this because I had strips to cut, and then I subcut those into I used it to subcut my strips, and this just works really great. Let me just show you how easy this works. Okay, so I just set the ruler along my strip, I've lined that up against the line. And I'm just going to say cut it at every 3 inches. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and we'll do 18. Okay, let me show you. Can you see how fast it was to make those squares? Well, these look like rectangles. I don't know. I guess I didn't have the same width, but you can see how quickly that subcuts a strip into whatever shape you needed. I had really meant to cut those into squares. I guess I should have cut them 4 inches because my strip was 4 inches. But anyway, you get the idea. But this was a real lifesaver because I had so many blocks to cut. I did do strip piecing, but again, I did have to have a lot of individual squares. Here's the last tool I want to show you. I've shown you these before, but these are so great when these are so helpful when you have to mark half square triangles, or squares in half. So this paper just holds, this fine sandpaper just holds your fabric in place so you can mark your square without it shifting all over the place. Now all of these are the same principle. This is just a piece of sandpaper glued down to just poster board with some non-slip stuff on the back. I put a little binding on this one, and then my little folding project book here. And I do have videos on how to make that. I do have a video out on how to make this. But these tools were invaluable when it came to making this quilt. So here is the first quilt I wanted to show you. This is my friend Phyllis's quilt, and I love it. I love all of the blues. It's a scrappy look, and I like how it turned out. It's just beautiful. This is my friend Fern's quilt. She used reds that had these gold snowflakes in them, and then a coordinating white fabric that had gold snowflakes in it. Fern and I had the same long arm quilter quilt our quilts, but we both selected different patterns. And for the backing, she used a white swirl, and her the gold quilting, our quilter used gold thread, and that turned out really nice. You can really see her quilting on the back. Here's a close-up so you can see the quilting a little bit. And here is my quilt. I used black, red, and gray to create a buffalo check plaid. I like that look. I saw one like this on Pinterest, and this caught my eye. So on the back I used a black and white gray fabric. I think it turned out pretty good for the backing, and it's one that I had. I didn't have to purchase it. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. This quilt challenge was so much fun, and I am just waiting for everyone to post their quilt, and I'm very anxious to see Chris and Fallon's. Again, don't forget to go to their YouTube channels and check out their quilts. If you have any questions or comments about this challenge, be sure to tell me about it in the comments below. And until next time, have fun quilting.